are standing behind that red and yellow line as the tram approaches. Look down to make sure you're standing on a star. That star will be your seat on the next tram. Please make sure you're standing behind that red and yellow line. Do not board this tram until the VIP, guys. Make sure you stay right there. Stay put.
Welcome aboard the world-famous Universal Studios tour. My name is Natalie. You guys will be your tour guide. In just a few moments, we'll be heading out into it. We've got a great co-host today who will be helping us out from the Tonight Show. Here he is, Jimmy Fallon.
You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Natalie.
And the greatest driver. They're the best. I love them. Even though he owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Few safety rules, guys. Right above your head, running down the center of the train, there's a red plastic cord. That's going to be your emergency cord. If at any point you need to communicate with me through the red cord, if you feel bad, if you drop something off the side of the tram, please do not jump out of the tram. Please do not jump out of the tram. We'll be emergency board. We will help you out. We ask that you remain seated, arms and legs inside, refrain from smoking, and be prepared for just about anything, including loud noises, fire effects, sudden, unexpected train movements, and the possibility of getting wet. So make sure you keep your cameras nice and dry. But that is it, guys. We're off into the real working movie studio. We've got a nice view here off to the right-hand side, the San Fernando Valley. Some folks golfing out there on Lakeside Golf Course. Great view for the studio. You gotta keep in mind, we've got about 450 acres out here. So this is a huge studio created by the man, the myth, the legend that is Carl Langley up on your screen. He is the one that created Universal Pictures, a little proof of our timeline off to both sides of the tram. Some of the major films we've worked on since 1912. 1912 is when Carl Langley decided he would create Universal Pictures. Started off on the East Coast and then quickly realized, wait a minute, the weather's awful. I have to move to a place where I could film all year round. So he packed his bags in 1915, came out to sunny Southern California, bought a chicken ranch, again 450 acres for roughly $3,000. I'd say that is a steal. He started building from the ground up, and there was so much land out here. We're technically considered a city. Universal Studios Hollywood, located in Universal City. And so we need everything that a real city would require, including a fire station. Off to the right-hand side, that is Fire Station 51. Real deal firefighters call 911 and these guys show up, although you may recognize the station, Fire Station 51 from NBC's Chicago Fire. We pay homage to these guys on the TV series. Now the best part I think about our history is that Mr. Langley always wanted you guys to have a great behind the scenes look at how we make movies. It used to cost about 10 cents to get a movie studio tour, so just about what you paid today, right? But you're going to get to see so much more. We will dive right into the Universal front lot. This is where we house a lot of our interior sets, our sound stages. Stages that are about 98% soundproof, and you build anything you want on the inside. Off to the left, stage 12, guess what film's there? The Voice, right? Pretty obvious, that is home base for The Voice. Stage 12 being the largest on the lot, third largest in the world. Now guys, we have 29 of these stages, and these are prime real estate because they're bare. So what goes inside just depends on what you need. You, the filmmaker, will come in with a blueprint of what you need. I need a house, I need a jungle, I need the surface of the moon. We'll go right through the elephant doors of these stages, those big sliding doors, and build whatever the movie needs, or show or commercial from the ground up. In fact, you may have seen these stages from the front line. They appeared as a police precinct in USA's Colony. Kind of dark and gloomy, right, for a kind of dark show. Right next door, 17 and 16, the door is a little open there. If you were to go inside, you would feel like you were at a Walmart. That's what it looks like in there. It's one of my favorite TV shows. It's a lot of fun. It is Cloud 9 for NBC's Superstore.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for Marina.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all hot.
If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get cold.
That is America Ferrera and Ben Feldman. They are the series regulars on the show. The show, it kind of follows the employees of this store called Cloud 9. They use 17 and 16, and they also use Soundstage 21 off to the left-hand side. So you'll see that there's trailers right in front of stage 21. The regulars on the show, right, the ones that appear every single episode, they are going to have their own trailer. It's their dressing room. That's where they're going to go to sort of relax and kick back or change wardrobe or learn new lines. They do say the bigger the trailer, the bigger the star. I believe that 100% because I saw Vin Diesel's trailer when they were filming The Fate of the Furious, and it was 3 stories tall. So that'll just give you an idea of what they're willing to do here for the big stars. Now, if you ever want to go inside these stages, besides a tour, we have a couple live audience shows, right? The Voice, we've got Hollywood Game Night, Family Feud.
Name is worth more in Scrabble tiles. Uzo Aduba or David Oyelowo.
Hollywood Game Night takes place in Jane Lynch's living room, right? You're right. They film here in the stages off to the right-hand side in the 40s. There's actually a website online that you can go to. All those tickets are free. You just reserve them, and then you get to go and see it all happen. Now, they do film in a Sitcom Alley. Off to the right, we have some of the stages where the classic NBC sitcoms shot throughout the years. And you may say, well, I thought that show took place in Hawaii or in Atlanta or in Chicago. Remember, when we're inside these stages, we can be anywhere in the world or on another planet at any time period. We can control the weather. We can make it rain and we can make it snow. And more importantly, the walls, as I mentioned before, are about 10 times bigger, or thicker rather, than the walls in your house. So it makes it 98% soundproof, very, very easy for filmmaking. 43 and 44 are currently home to The Good Place, starring Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. Kristen Bell's character, Eleanor, has died and gone to The Good Place. It films inside stage 44. That is where Eleanor's home is technically located. And Ted Danson, not the only Ted on the lot, guys. There are others. Don't work as hard, but there he is, right? Dirty martini. Every time I come back here, it's dirtier. It's a filthy martini by the end of the day. And he's hanging out with the writers, the directors, the producers. So off to the left-hand side, guys, this is the first phase of production. We sort of jumped the gun. We went from the theme park right to the stages. There's a phase that happens before you ever step into a stage, which is pre-production, right? Writing the script, auditioning the actors. It's going to happen here off to the left-hand side. And these little bungalows used to be the dressing rooms. Before we had the mobile trailer, we had these permanent fixtures, and if you were an actor, you would be given a contract to work with one studio at a time, as opposed to now that you can work with whoever you want, whenever you want. You would be what they call a contract player for Universal. So you would only make Universal movies or Universal shows, and you would have a permanent bungalow here on the lot. So people like Lucille Ball, Jimmy Stewart, they were contract players for us. Now, this is home to Mindy Kaling, you know, to Elizabeth Banks, Steven Spielberg, and many years ago, Alfred Hitchcock, if you're a fan of the classic horror movie. Mr. Hitchcock himself, or Sir Alfred Hitchcock, I should say, worked in 5195 off to the left-hand side. It's a great piece of real estate because it is very, very close to the back lot. You can get away from the sound stages in just a moment here. We've got stages 22 and 23, home to Will and Grace. Our apartment in New York City is actually right inside that building. It's not inside New York City at all. And then there's one wall that divides Will and Grace from J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. She films inside stage 23 off to the left-hand side. If any of you follow Kylie Jenner on Instagram, they just had this huge birthday party, right? And they had the opening of the baby's mouth was how you entered the party. That was Soundstage 23. They rented out the entire stage and they used it for baby's birthday. So, you know, if you want a birthday party on stage, I guess it's possible. They are right next door to the Metropolitan sets, guys. So this is the big stuff. We leave the stages behind to go check out where we film exterior scenes. Particularly, these are scenes that take place in some sort of metropolitan city. This is Hairspray, the musical. They used our metropolitan sets as the city of Baltimore. But it doesn't have to be Baltimore, right? It could be New York, it could be Chicago, it could be downtown LA. It is home to the superheroes. I hate to tell you.
Welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This was actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there by an old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
There you go. Sometimes even the cars are fake. And now when you're watching a show like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine or something, you see a car in taxi that says NYC or NYPD. Look at the license plate. Sometimes they don't have a California tag, and then whoopsies, not the real city, right? Looks great. They're actually prepping out there right now. They recently shot a TV series called Good Girls right down that street. American Ninja Warrior. There's no brick. There's no concrete. It is all plastic, foam rubber, and fiberglass. So there's no concrete in the concrete jungle, but we do have a jungle. And I hope you brought your walking shoes, because we're headed to a little place called Skull Island. And I do want to warn you, the wildlife in Skull Island is a bit dangerous. So make sure you keep your arms and legs inside and remain seated. If something stays back here, guys, it stays back here.
It's the original King Kong that I saw that movie on TV when I was 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up on the edge. Kong does that. You're on board a ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand, because we're about to return to Skull Island. The Universal tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife of Skull Island. Yeah, in a sense, this is like a mini sequel, a mini continuation. We're just taking the Kong and Skull Island and the dinosaurs that we established in our feature film. And this is, another day, another incident on Skull Island, using the creatures and the character and personality of Kong as he appeared in the movie.
Hang on to any loose items and your loved ones, guys. We are headed in to Skull Island.
Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years. We're so sure.
make sure you hang on to those 3D glasses. You'll need them again in a little bit. Created by Academy Award-winning director Peter Jackson, alongside the filmmakers and Reddit. Did you know? Maybe it made you feel like you were there, right? Should be around a little bit. A little water, a little wind, a little jump.
We always remember to bring American straight ahead of the shot to go on. Here you have to take into account that people looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this, a lot of the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts because it's one giant shot. This tram driving along through Skull Island is where the tram is from. This room represents where the screen is 10 meters away. They were creation about 50 minutes of a feature film. Then imagine visual information, the number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience. It's a hell of a ride.
It's a great ride, and we love the fact that they dropped that fifth car right onto the screen, right? But it's not the first time that this tram has gotten into trouble. We've been doing it for years, getting stars in and out of some sticky situations. Because we've appeared so often in movies and TV shows, we're not just a theme park attraction. We are very much a Universal picture car. And all you gotta do is show up in the film in order to view it. We're gonna swing by the transportation department so you'll get to see some of the more famous picture cars from Universal history. Involved in high-speed chases and crash scenes. So we'll create a stunt double for the hero vehicle. The hero vehicle is the vehicle that the hero, the main star of the film, will drive. And it's not unheard of to not even turn the engine on. A lot of times we'll pull the car from the front bumper to make it easier on the actor in the scene. Fast and Furious being the most successful franchise in Universal history. Don't worry, we've got Fast and Furious 9 and 10 already in the works, so we're gonna have them until the end of time, guys. Transformers off to the left, that military tank. It looks good, right? You're gonna fight Megatron with it, but that is a tank that's made mostly out of plywood. So I wouldn't go to war with it. I wouldn't take it down the street. It's a Hollywood tank, and sometimes they'll even transform the exterior of the car to match the environment that they're going into. You'll see a Mercedes-Benz Jeep off to the right-hand side. It is fully camouflaged. I bet that's not how they sell them at the dealership, right? That is designed for those who are brave enough to step into the jungle.
To Jurassic Park.
They claimed it was a jungle island off the coast of Costa Rica, but now you know it was here. And in parts of Hawaii that they shot The Lost World Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg. Around to some of the actual set pieces they use in the film, including the picture car off to the left-hand side, the mobile lab. We've got some of the cages. I know the cages are wide open. Here's the thing. I didn't want to tell you the dinosaurs got out this morning because I didn't think that you would believe me. That's too much of a coincidence. But just be aware, you know. If you see something, say something. Pretty rare to see a Spinosaurus in the wild, but we're trying to make it all happen here for you today. Wild jungles made out of foam level tree trunks. You'll see where the trees start to chip off. You can see the bright orange of the foam on the inside. They have wheels, they have handles, so you can push the trees from soundstage to soundstage. That is essentially where they built the jungles of Jurassic Park. So they had to fill the floor of the stages with dirt, and they quickly realized, they being Steven Spielberg, that there were footprints left behind, sneaker footprints from the crew, right? So if you were then going to step into a stage that was designated a jungle, you, a crew member or whoever, would have to take your shoe off and put on a new shoe designed by Spielberg that had a dinosaur footprint on it, which seems crazy, but makes perfect sense. It's all in the detail, guys, right? So we can convince you that we're actually there. In fact, this scene, the mobile lab is falling off a cliff. It is not a cliff, my friends, it's a parking lot. We decorated it to make it look like a cliff. And then we made it rain. It's very important, especially when we're trying to be on a jungle island, that the climate match the location, right? So we're going to show you what we do to change the environment in a film, whether it's just a slight mist or a full-blown storm. We've traveled all the way to Mexico to show you how it's done. You set the mood with a little thunder, a little lightning. Thunder's just a soundtrack amplified with speakers in the set. Lightning will be as simple as a flash of light, like a stroke. And then, of course, the most important part is a little bit of rain. Very simple, but very sophisticated technique is called a sprinkler. You put it on top of the film and shoots the water out, goes down pretty naturally. Now what happens, you know, if it rains too much? If it rains too much, it might be the street, right? It happens out here too, guys. I know you folks keep our slopes to get wet, so thousands of gallons of water have been released from the top of the hill to show you what it looks like when it rains a little too much in the streets of Mexico. Herself, no cell phone needed. And then she danced all the way to Mexico here. This is where most of that music video took place. This was also a Peruvian market in Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. This is home to Nacho Libre, and the three amigos, House of Bad Guy and Guapo, right out here in the streets of Mexico, very close to the Texan border. And once you cross over, guys, step aside. John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, and Jimmy Fallon run these streets.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal line.
I heard this where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot here.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now let's see you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good.
All right. Well, I'll see you again, fella.
Oh, you can count on it, fella. Now get.
6 Points, Texas marks the perfect halfway point of the tour, guys. So just a little reminder, if you need anything at all, you drop anything right above your head, your emergency cord, that is going to be the way that I'll know about it. Now, the Cowboys, I think, have a great view. They've got an ocean view, waterfront. Off to the left, that is Park Lake. If you like classic monster movies, that is where the creature lived. To this day, we are still known for the classic monster movies. very, very close by in Little Europe. This is where the monsters came to life in the 30s.
Universal think the monsters. Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy,
The Hunchback of Notre Dame,
The Invisible Man,
Phantom of the Opera.
classic films. They're just brilliant.
That Frankenstein image, flathead, it's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film.
And I was just mesmerized.
The classic monsters lived off to the left-hand side. Little Europe, designed to be any city or country in Europe. But today we're actually not driving through it because they're starting to prep again for the Good Place.
You, Eleanor Shellstrike, are dead.
Cool. The Good Place films on a regular basis in our European sets. That is the afterlife, technically, or she spends most of her days. This is an NBC show, but Disney has actually used our European sets quite a bit for the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, The Country of Genovia, and Disney's Princess Diaries. So, you know, any other studio can come and rent out our sets. We're essentially a rental facility. In fact, Hallmark uses the area off to the left. You'll see the trailers, and there's a house right behind them for a TV series called Home and Family. However, one of the stages that is most popular or most commonly rented out is Soundstage 50. This one is a little different than the other stages. Remember earlier I said you build whatever you want on the inside? This stage comes sort of predetermined or pre-designed. It's decorated to look like a metro station. It always is. It's a metro station in different cities, so we'll change the map, we'll change minor set decoration pieces. Fonts used differently. So you'll see the quote. You guys are the worst actors I've seen in my entire life. There was a lot of laughing. And normally around this time we would be going to swing by and feed a great white shark, but this friend of ours is not feeling well these days, so you're going to see the shark a little bit out of commission there, right? You never thought you'd see him like that. There you go. If you ever wondered how deep the water was, there you have him. That is Bruce the mechanical shark, not looking too great these days, but if you've ever watched the film. In fact, he's working just as well as he did in the making of the movie. The very first day of Jaws, the shark sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. So we ended up not seeing him a whole lot in the film. Doesn't work out too well, but that whole area, now that you're without the water, it looks weird. It was formerly Cabot Cove, homes that Angela Lansbury and Murder, She Wrote. One of the many neighborhoods we have out here. The Chicken Ranch at the top of the hill. If you like scary movies, that is the House of 1,000 Corpses. Was home to Beethoven, the St. Bernard. One of the few sort of dollhouse sets we have. A practical set you can film inside of. I love the neighbor in the backyard. Just one wall, that's all you need. If you do want a full set of neighbors, off to the left-hand side, right by the New York Film Academy, they are working down Wisteria Lane, home to the Desperate Housewives.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good
Universal Studios gives the students of the New York Film Academy access to some of our sets throughout the week. So today they're working on this street, which I like to call Anywhere USA, because it was, yes, Wisteria Lane for many years, but it has been home to the Cleavers, the Munsters, the Hardy Boys, just about everybody who needed a home. And the fortunate thing about Colonial Street or Wisteria Lane is that you get all 4 seasons, right? Any season you want, we can make it happen. But if you want heavy, heavy snow, you do have to relocate. Not far, though. You don't have to go very far at all. You just have to get to the top of the hill. That is home to the Who's, and it snows all year round.
You're as cuddly as a cactus, and as charming as an ear, Mr.
You're a bad banana with a greasy back.
Dr. Seuss's How a Grinch Stole Christmas, one of the largest productions to ever hit the Universal backlot. They took up this area and 10 stages down at the front lot, so a very, very large neighborhood. But the Who's haven't been around for a while. Can't blame them, right? They live right next door to a total psycho. The Bates Motel, the Psycho House, and unfortunately Norman has taken a very long vacation this week, so he's not around, but you know what? Mother is. So we're going to swing by, go up the psychopath here. You can wave at her. She's up on that 2nd story window. Always happy to see the tours. It appears I may have been wrong. It looks like Norman is actually home, guys. So let's just wave and say hello, and let's keep it light. Okay? Not great. Just when you thought a man dressed like his mother with a knife was scary, we get here. The crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site is perfectly set that is all designed around the vision of Steve.
Yeah, the guy we talked about the other for 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing big. Listen to me. Listen, now listen. I want you to close your eyes, okay? Okay, I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
It is a real 747. It was just a retired plane, so nothing happened to it. It was out in the Mojave Desert. They have a graveyard of planes. And they just picked this one up. $60,000 attack, $200,000 to get it out here and make it look like that. Took about 3 weeks to build the set, 3 days to shoot the scene, which was in the movie 90 seconds, guys. 90 seconds, it's all that they ever used it for. Off to the right-hand side here, guys. We do have, actually, hold on 1 second. We are a little bit too close to that other train. Give me just 1 second. I gotta find out what's going on with that.
This is security. What's going on, Studio Tour?
Hey, buddy, it's Natalie. We're about 10 minutes away from getting these guys back into the theme park, but we are right on top of another tram here. You want to call and see if they're doing all right?
Okay, Tour.
Yeah.
I'll send someone down to check it out ASAP.
Thank you so much. We will be back in just a second, guys, but we are over in the wilderness. This is the log cabin from the great outdoors. The area right behind it, that big blue wall, is actually a fascinating set. The blue wall works like a green screen or blue screen in this case, and then the surface in front of it will be filled entirely with water. So it doubles kind of like an ocean or a lake. In Sully, it was the Hudson River.
Evacuate.
The blue wall is the city, okay? It's a digital city. Everything else was actually out there. The plane, the passengers. That whole area was original. Look at that. Look at that. That is insane. The blue wall, the city. The plane, there were 2 ferry boats. The other 3 were digital. There was bananas. And that was originally built for Jaws. I told you he sank in the first one. It was the salt water. So they had to build a freshwater ocean. And those are hand-painted clouds. If you can believe that. They've used it in the Amazing Spider-Man. They've used it in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Studio
Yes,
Tour.
sir.
Looks like we might have an issue.
Really?
I'm patching you into Agent Novak from the FBI.
The FBI. Don't call the FBI. Just call like one of the drivers and see what's going. You don't have to call the FBI. Are you crazy?
Look, this might be more serious than I thought.
What?
What just happened?
I don't know.
This is a secure line. Who are you?
Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me clue you in on 2 things, sweet cheeks. 1, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle.
What?
And 2, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come, and he'll stop at nothing to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
This is not your jurisdiction.
Get going.
Sometimes you stay guys step in. Just whatever you feel like.
That's better.
So where are we?
We're moving your vehicle to a safe location until we have the situation under control.
So cute.
Until then, I want everybody to stay calm. Enjoy the ride. Taking care of business. Bob's out.
Hold on. Now it comes out. I'm confused. Hello? Great. Okay, guys. We're just going to figure this out together. It should be fine if I can get somebody on the line.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you with Sean for a while. We brought you in our secret spot. We're having a few friends over. It's a little messy, but it's all good. The more the merrier. Especially you right there in the 3rd row, like I was saying. So look, see over there? It's Hobbs' urban assault vehicle. Best truck the U.S. government can buy. But that work of art back over there was made by my man Tej. Think of it as like a Mona Lisa on wheels.
Extra. So did you break it down to them?
What's that?
You had one job to do, Roman, one. All right, look, guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate trains. So turn on your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone can give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and meet you in there.
FBI, don't move. Bill? That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not...
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. I got you. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Hobbs, escort this novice out. Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. Man, it was on vibrate. Sure, trace this. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle. It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door. Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Looks like they're going pretty fast. We're gonna have to try and catch up to them. This thing only goes about 8 miles per hour, guys. We are gonna figure this out. We don't know the neighborhood too well, but I do know that it's in 3D. So go ahead and throw those 3D glasses on and hang on tight.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime. This thing is moving fast enough. Roman, let's hook him up.
I got the move by the horn!
Now we're moving.
Witness is mine, Letty!
How about you, you assholes?
Don't think you're getting away! Go in the closets!
Way to go, Letty. Don't climb another missile shot. Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this. Roman, don't shoot. Head for the bridge. Under construction. Everybody hold on. Hit the nitrous. On and down.
Supercharged somehow.
My Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys have been up there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
No better way to wrap up the tour, guys. We're going to take you right back to the theme park so you can continue on with your evening. The park will be closing at 9 today, so that gives you all the time in the world. Such a lovely day, right? You got to see a full working movie studio out here in the San Fernando Valley. You can see some of the neighboring studios off to the right-hand side. You'll see Warner Brothers there off in the distance. And right next to Warner Brothers, you can see those terracotta roofs. That is Disney and ABC Studios. We're all out here, one big happy family, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tour, your day in the park. Make sure you're using that Universal Studios app. It'll give you the wait times and show times so you can better enjoy your time here in the park. And if you're looking for something to do tonight, we've got How to Train Your Dragon. The Hidden World just came out. Want to go check it out? We've got theaters here on City Walk. If you have any questions at all, again, my name is Natalie. I was your tour guide. I'll be hanging out right outside, and I'm more than happy to help with anything you may need. If I don't see you, though, have a wonderful afternoon. Enjoy your stay here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. See you next time.
I've been on that tour so many times since I was a kid, and I just love it every time.
The first time I ever went on the Universal lot, we did the tour.
I grew up in Los Angeles, and that was like the place to go and see Jaws.
I got my introduction to Universal Studios through the tour, and so then to be in the movies and seeing the trams drive by, it's very overwhelming.
One of the coolest things, actually, about shooting for Universal is sometimes you get to shoot on the lot, and then you look over, and it's like, there's Jaws, right? There's the flash flood, and all those trams are riding around. It's the coolest thing ever.
1979. Back then, the tram drivers were kind of a little reckless, a little crazy. There was no restriction on cars going anyway. We used to drive all over and kind of duel with them back and forth.
I have so many amazing memories of the lot when we were shooting Back to the Future.
Being here brings me back in time, I'll tell you that.
When the tram would come through, the tourists would see Michael J. Fox, and they're taking their camera, snap, snap, snap. So one day, Michael J. Fox had his own camera, and every time the tourists came through snapping their pictures, he ran out and he started taking pictures.
I went to answer the phone, I was gone a second, I came back in, he let himself out of the playpen, he put on Scarface, and he glued his hands to the rum bottle. Okay?
And did I reveal his name? Why? Because. Oh, he's centerpiece.
Hey, Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg? Who else looks like Mark Wahlberg?